I come to you today, a loving father of 6, but I was once a child, alone and adrift. I know well the challenges and pain of which I speak, but I'm encouraged by the talent that I see around me. I'm excited by the great challenge that we rise to meet. I'd like to start this evening by asking you a couple of questions. The first has 3 possible answers. The second has just 2. I'd like to know how many of you either currently or one day plan to have children. And secondly, I'd like to know how many of you are 18 years of age or older. I'm sorry to tell you, but it's too late. You already have children. I want to show you tonight how, as a citizen of the United States, you are a part of We the People. And you are a part of the government, an essential part. And so, all of the children that are wards of the state, they're our kids. And we're in Missouri. And as of September, there are 12,697 kids that are wards of the state of Missouri. And we're responsible for them. I want to introduce you to these kids. I want to tell you a couple of key points, a couple of key details about them. And then I want to share with you a couple of the great challenges that they face. These challenges are so great, in fact, that they demand that we circle the wagons. They demand that we call all hands. These challenges are so great, they demand that we have all hands on deck. They demand that we call our greatest minds. I want to share these things with you today. And then I want to challenge you to give of your time to be informed and of your talents to be involved. Because our kids, they need our help. Peter Segal of the PBS television series, The U.S. Constitution, is quoted on the show page, the website, as saying the first 3 words of the Constitution are the most powerful. We the people. They declare that the Constitution derives not its power from king or Congress, but from the people themselves. And this principle of popular sovereignty, power to the people, it's the foundation upon which our entire Constitution rests. And the Missouri State Constitution, Article 1, Section 3, states that the people of this state have the sole, inherent, and exclusive right to control the internal governing and policies thereof. We are the government, and we're responsible. But I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, I don't govern. I don't make laws. I don't do any of that stuff. And you're probably right. You delegate. You delegate to congressmen. You delegate judges, you delegate to executives, and you delegate to thousands of men and women who work tirelessly in our Department of Social Services. But make no mistake, the delegation of tasks is not the relegation of responsibility. We're still responsible. Their success is our success. Their failures fall on us too. That's why we have to be informed about these great challenges. As I said before, there are 12,697 kids who are wards of the state of Missouri. A ward of the state of the state. A ward of the state is someone who is under the government's protection, according to Elder Law Net Incorporated, 2023. They're under the protection of the government because of their young age or incapacity. And the term ward necessitates the existence of a guardian, because a ward is one who is under the care and guidance of a guardian. In this case, the guardian is the state. It's you and me. These are our kids, and they need our help. I want to tell you a little bit about our kids. 61% of our kids come into the foster care system because of parental neglect, meaning that their parents were unable to provide for them the most basic needs for survival and safety. The average age of our kids is 8.5 years old. And as if being 8.5 years old and being separated from everybody that you know and love is not a great enough challenge, I'd like to talk to you about two more. The first is the challenge of PTSD. Now, in 2023, childwelfare.gov stated that our kids are 5 times more likely to be diagnosed with PTSD than the general population. In 2005, an article in the Harvard Crimson, a publication of the Harvard University, reported that our kids were nearly twice as likely to suffer from PTSD than U.S. war veterans. Well, what is PTSD anyway? Well, PTSD is a mental health condition that's caused by some past trauma that the child's brain was unable to process. Usually a traumatic event. Most commonly among kids, it's abuse. Children with PTSD may relive their trauma over and over and over again. They often have nightmares and flashbacks. They have encroaching thoughts and disproportionate emotional responses. Kids with PTSD may require therapy, medication, and they're at greater risk of other mental health conditions such as anxiety and depression. PTSD is a tremendous issue, and it's happening to our kids at astonishing rates. But if it's possible, the next challenge I want to talk to you about may be even greater. It's the challenge of aging out. You see, currently, due to legislation, our responsibility for our kids ends when they turn 18. And some recent legislation has extended that to 21, and I'm proud to say we've done that in Missouri. But it doesn't work that way for all kids. And at some point, these kids that aren't able to find a forever home, they're just released into the general population. I want to talk to you about a little bit about what they face. So, in 2019, the University of Maryland School of Social Work published a study. And in this study, they reported that the Maryland survey of foster care alumni revealed that foster care kids did okay for about the first 3 months in terms of housing security. But after that, they struggled with rent and other responsibilities, resulting in the fact that 100% of them reported experiencing housing insecurity at some point. 99% would spend time in an emergency homeless shelter within the first 6 months. So think about that for a moment. Even if housing security, 4 walls and a roof, is our standard, which I certainly want more than that for my kids, and I think we should want more than that for ours. But even if that's our standard, our success rate is 0%. 99% of our kids will be in a homeless shelter within 6 months. The challenge is great. Our kids desperately need our help. We need to innovate. We need to invent. We need to challenge. We need to stretch. And in order to do that, we need our greatest minds at work. Now, I get it. It's a big ask. And generations before us have failed. They relegated their responsibility. They convinced themselves that these were not their kids. Told themselves they're not their responsibility. They're simply someone else's problem. But there's a new guard in town. There's a new people. We the people. And we can do better. We must do better. Our kids need us to do better. They need us to give up our time to be informed and of our talents to be involved. Now, I said before, I'm encouraged by the talent I see. And I'm excited by the challenges that we can rise to meet together. But in order to do that, we all have to be willing. So I wonder if you would be willing to become more informed, to seek opportunities to become involved. Thank you.